Inside of AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, Monster Jam Stadium Championship Series West is back at it again. It's week 9 of Monster Jam in 2024. We are about 2 months into the season now, which is quite wild to think. And this series is coming off of a really fun weekend in Detroit, Michigan. Chris Kohler stole the show all weekend long in Northern Nightmare. While he will be back in his regular Monster Month this weekend, how will he be able to carry that momentum from an awesome weekend? How will the rest of these drivers fare? It is a one-event weekend as well, so there's a little bit more pressure on them to go out there and do amazing tonight. Find out what's going to happen in this one-event weekend for Stadium Championship Series West on Monster Jam.
Hello everybody and welcome.
Hello everybody and welcome. Hello everybody and welcome.
Oh boy! Oh! 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 Oh yeah!
Hello everybody and welcome to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight we have one event in a one-event weekend in this building for Stadium Championship Series West. Very nice to have a one-event weekend, and these 12 competitors are ready to go to battle. It was a wild weekend in Detroit. Let's see who's going to be stacking up tonight. We started off with Mike Christensen. He's had a bit of an up-and-down year, but does have a racing win under his belt. Jim Kohler and Avenger coming off of a hometown event in which it didn't really go so well for him in Detroit. Caleb Blood and Soldier Fortune trying to get back to that top-tier level that she was at just a couple of weeks ago. Joe Foley and El Toro Loco kind of in the same boat, has really kind of fallen off the last 2 weekends after being on a hot streak. David Olfert and Velociraptor, on the other hand, has been on the upswing. He's been looking really good the last few weekends. Barney Moosauer and Zombie, very consistent competitor, always a threat to win every single competition. Corey Rummel and Megalodon, finally looking a little bit more like himself. That Megalodon truck has really been flying in freestyle. Colt Stevens Thunder Roar's got that first overall event championship monkey off his back last weekend. Camden Murphy and the Bakugan Dragonoid ready to rumble, always a real threat in every single event. Charlie Palkin is here, filling in for Adam Anderson in Gravediggers. So nice to see that. Chris Kohler in Monster Month, back in Monster Month after a weekend in the rental car of Northern Nightmare. And Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger, also known as your current series points leader, is the final competitor. It is time for Monster Jam Racing. Barney Moosauer and Zombie will take on David Olfert and Velociraptor as we kick off the first of 3 competitions tonight. And again, it is a one-event weekend for this series. You have one chance to impress these Arlington fans, and David Olfert not off to a good start. He's up on 2 wheels, and his race is all but lost. Barney Moosauer will try and handle this turn smoothly, and he will. The dirt in Arlington looking perfect. This looks like the most perfect dirt you can have for Monster Jam. Looks like it's the perfect balance of slick and tacky, that it should be a really good surface. I'm excited for what should be not only a great night in general, but a pretty good night of racing with these conditions. Our next race, we get a look at 2 teammates, and not only is it 2 teammates, it's a father-son matchup. We have Jim Kohler and Avenger taking on his son, Chris Kohler, in Monster Month. And Jim Kohler rocking the Avenger Firebody, but you will notice the skull on the side is a little different. It looks like Jim Kohler as a clown, which is very funny. I wonder if that was what it was modeled after. And well, it's working for him. Jim Kohler's got a lead, his son falling behind, and you know, Jim Kohler wants to be able to get this win. And indeed he does. The old man takes down his son. You better respect your elders there, Chris Kohler, because your father just took you down in round 1. Next pairing in round number 1, Caleb Blood and Soldier Fortune goes up against Mike Christensen, Vendetta. Caleb Blood has had a couple nights this season in which he's looked sneakily fast, and Mike Christensen has a racing win this season. So 2 drivers here who could be potential winners tonight, but sleeper picks for that winning spot. And Mike Christensen has a lead, Caleb Blood needing to make up some ground. Mike Christensen looking good in the turns. He's been very smooth all season in the racing competition. Looking smooth in round 1, he's got a win. Caleb Blood was about 2 truck lengths behind there at the end, and it was not enough for her to be able to power through. Time for the final race in round 1. We have Corey Rummel and Megalodon, and we have Camden Murphy, the Bakugan Dragonoid. These are two really great racers. Camden Murphy has a history in NASCAR, so this man really knows how to race, and Corey Rummel, one of the fastest men in monster trucks. Really good pairing in round 1. Corey Rummel goes way wide in that turn. That yields the lead to Camden Murphy. Massive lead for Dragonoid right now. You can't give him that kind of advantage. And Camden Murphy all over that one. He's your winner. And that one was absolutely uncontested. Corey Rummel knew he had to make up a lot of ground in that final turn. Took the risk. Really didn't pay off. So Corey Rummel in Megalodon will head back. It's time for round 2. We've got Colt Stevens and Thunderoris, and we have Barimu, Sour, and Zombie. These two going head-to-head to start off round number 2 of Monster Jam Racing as 8 more competitors will battle to try and make it to the semifinals. Zombie has a lead down the straightaway. He is in command in this race. Bari looking fast tonight. He is in the other lane than where he was in round 1, but it doesn't matter. Look at Barimu Sour. On a mission, he's going to the semifinals, and Zombie is looking like a real contender to win it tonight. Bari has not had tons of success in racing this year, but always been a sneakily good racer. It's time for the next race in round 2. We've got another pairing of Team Scream teammates. Jim Kohler and Avenger takes on Joe Foley and El Toro Loco. Jim Kohler looked pretty good in round 1. Not here. Up on 2 wheels on the berm, and that's going to hurt him. Joe Foley and El Toro Loco, 2 trucks that have flames on the side, and the one that's the bull is in the lead. However, Joe Foley having some problems in that turn. He really overshoots the turn. That gives Jim Kohler a chance. And Jim Kohler seizes the day. He's off to the semifinals. Man, oh man. Joe Foley had it in the bag. I don't know if it was truck problems or what, but he's your loser. Our next pairing, Mike Christensen and Vendetta, and Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. Mike Christensen has a chance to not only take down the series leader and to get a massive upset, but he also has a chance to help out Adam Anderson and Camden Murphy. Adam Anderson not even here this weekend. He needs Charlie Pauken to do pretty well for him. Right now, Mike Christensen falling behind, but he's making up some ground entering the turn. But Son of a Digger looking smooth, and as we all know, smooth is fast. Ryan Anderson fast, and he's the winner. Oh yeah, there we go. A nice, beautiful shot of Charlie Pauken's face. Look at that. He is back in the black and green wrecking machine. It's Charlie Pauken, Gravedigger, and his opponent, Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid. And probably, I'd say 5 years ago, this race would be an absolute doozy, but Charlie has not been driving as much. They flip lanes. Okay, cool. Charlie hasn't been driving as much. This is going to be a tough test. We'll see if he can get it done. Charlie Pauken, a longtime veteran in the sport. He's been driving for about 3 times as long as Camden Murphy. He's been driving since before Camden Murphy has even been alive. Can the young superstar take down the veteran? Right now, it's close. This is a close race. Here we go to the final turn. Both of them do it well. Gravedigger overshoots it. So does Murphy. It's close, and across the line, it's Camden Murphy. Both of them overcorrected in the turn, but Camden Murphy was a little bit smoother, and he won the race. Charlie Pauken down in round 2, but he's still got 2 competitions left in this truck. I'm excited to see it. So now we go to the semifinals, and, well, at least one half of the bracket has some drivers that I really hope can get a racing win tonight. The first one, Jim Kohler and Avenger, and the other one, Barimu Sour and Zombie. One of these drivers will go to the finals. Barimu Sours look really fast tonight, and Jim Kohler never wins racing, and I don't think it's happening tonight. He has flipped it over on the berm. He had berm troubles in round 2, and that's going to hand Barimu Sour an automatic victory here in the semifinals. And Bari's looked fast all night, and now he can sit back and watch the next race and know what he needs to do. We'll have to find out if he got lane choice as well. He's been running well in both lanes tonight. Jim Kohler flips over that beautiful body there. Quite the shame. I don't know if that is a clown now that I look at it. I don't know. The next semifinal race is a big one, not only for point standings, but these are 2 heavy hitters. Camden Murphy in the Bakugan Dragonoid goes up against Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. The winner takes on Zombie in the final round. This is a marquee matchup here in the Final 4. Camden Murphy slinging it off of the berm. You know he wants to win this race. There was a lot on this for Camden Murphy, but Ryan Anderson still staying strong, not letting him back him down, but they're dead even going into the turn. Ryan Anderson looking a little bit better, and Ryan Anderson gets him by a truck length. Son of a Digger continuing to dominate in racing. Camden Murphy gave it his all, but nothing can quite withstand the force of Son of a Digger. And Son of a Digger is in the final round. He is chosen, well, he's in the gray lane. I don't know if he had lane choice or not, but Ryan Anderson in that gray lane. He's looked fast in it all night long. He probably had lane choice and picked that lane. But in the near lane is Barney Musauer and Zombie. And in that first round race, he was in this lane, looked fast. So you know what that means? We've got ourselves a matchup of two drivers who are feeling comfortable in these lanes and have looked fast all night. And dare I say, Zombie has looked like the fastest driver tonight. Ryan's smooth and fast, but I think Zombie might have an upper hand here. This is going to be a good one. Let's crown a winner in Arlington. You know Barney wants this win, and look at him slingshotting it off of the berm, but Ryan Anderson handles these turns so well. That's where he makes up the ground. He has a lead. Zombie trying to get it, but Son of a Digger's got some smoke coming from the front end. That might slow him down, but it's not going to slow him down enough. Son of a Digger's your winner by about a truck length. Barry gave it his all as well, but no one, absolutely no one, can beat Ryan Anderson in racing right now, and he has got yet another on his belt. Son of a Digger, the man who is on a mission this season, and if anyone is looking like an early favorite to be the Racing World Champion this year, it is Ryan Anderson. He's making no mistakes. He is being so dialed in on every track. He's making every pass look flawless. He doesn't even look fast out there. He's just coasting, and it has been an absolute honor to watch Ryan Anderson this season in racing, and he's now leading the series by he's leading the series handedly. Handily? I don't know. Whatever. It's time for the skills challenge, and our first competitor in this competition will be David Olfert and Velociraptor. Now, David Olfert will be displaying what this skills challenge is all about. You can either do 2 moves on 2 wheels or 1 donut. They're going to need the crew guys to get out of the safety holds, and then they'll be able to send them as they do. David Olfert in Velociraptor has been really, really good in this competition this season, and I think that's something to be really noted. This is a guy who is coming out of a lot of arena years. He was really a solid arena driver, and had a lot of chances, and he is really showing on the stadium level that those moves will translate on the stadium level in a bigger floor, and he's really doing a good job. Here he goes for the first move. Tries the stoppie, and, well, I was gassing him up, and he fails the stoppie attempt. Now, we are watching Reagan's videos here today, which is totally fine. It's a one-event weekend. I will take all the opportunity I can to add in some extra facts and things in there, and it looks like David Olfert going to try and go for that same move here, which is a little bit risky after he failed it on the first time, but he's committed to beating that lip, and he does. He's got the stoppie walked. And it looks like that sponsorship they had last week in Detroit was just a local partnership, so back to the normal Velociraptor-looking body with no extra writing on the side. And look at him perfectly balancing it. Now, this is the first competitor out. These fans don't know what to expect, which is obviously a very difficult thing to have to do. Coming out first in any competition is never easy, especially in skills, because the fans might think, oh, well, that looked cool, but, I mean, who knows what we're going to see. It's a 7.031, so a very decent number there. Next competitor is Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt. Now, we also have some shout-outs to get to today. It is Saturday, so let's keep an eye on that. I'd want to kind of sprinkle those in here throughout the skills challenge, so keep on listening if you want to get shouted out. Monster Mutt lining up for the forward popper. Chris Kohler's done a lot of bicycles this year, so for him to try a forward popper, maybe he's going for a sky wheelie. I don't know. He has not done many things aside from bicycles this year, so I like him whipping new things out of his bag of tricks. Clearly felt really, really great after last weekend. And look at him. Absolutely perfect. Why hasn't he been doing this all year? That was a stellar move from Monster Mutt. And he's got one left. So again, if you wanted to get shouted out this week, you had to comment your favorite Gravedigger paint job. Now, I said it last week, you had to be in the first 15 commenters, and we did get over 15 commenters last week, so some of you are not going to get shouted out. You got to be a little bit quicker next time. We'll get to those shout-outs after Monster Mutt's run. Monster Mutt trying to get the bicycle in here now after a solid first move. He's got it on the sidewalls. Oh, no, he is done right there. He flips her over, couldn't quite get any grip on it. And unfortunately, Chris Kohler's run not as exciting, and he gets a 6.208, so the fans really like Velociraptor. The next competitor is Caleb Blood, Soldier Fortune. crank out a couple of these shout-outs here. Started off with Monster Triss 17, a member of the channel who's been a member for over a month now. One of the originals. Said his favorite paint job is the green 30th anniversary body. One of my favorites for sure. Kayla Blood and Soldier Fortune lining up for the log. She's going for the forward popper. She's done a lot of these this year, and she's done them very well as of late. Overdoes it a little bit, though. Too bad. Sui, a new member of the channel. I've been shouting him out a lot the last few weekends, but a new member of the channel now. Welcome to the channel membership. Very happy to have you. He said his favorite paint job is the 40th Gravedigger. Interesting. Not a very different body, but you know what? If you like it, you like it. Looks like Kayla Blunt's now going to try and go for the backflip ramp. She's been trying this a lot the last couple weekends. It's worked a few times and not others, but she's not really lined up straight. You're not lined up straight there. She's going to have to reset it. Jeremy Rife Network WDVM. Wade Forbes 3563. KL Weber 06. You guys also commented on the video last weekend with some of your favorite Gravedigger bodies. She's still not straight. That's not going to work. She's going to have to reset again. Just tell her to go to the left. Oh, it looks like she's going to try something different. She's like, yeah, screw it. We're gonna try a slap wheelie instead. I don't blame her. Well, the slap wheelie works pretty well. She's able to walk it up. Ooh, little combo. Decent run for Soldier Fortune. Could have been a lot better, but she couldn't quite get lined up on the backflip ramp, which is too bad, but at least she's trying, and I like that, but it's a 5.378. That is not going to do it. Here's Corey Rummel in Megalodon, getting some more of those shout-outs in there. Bobby Gogol, Monster Jam Fan 1111, Parzival Z98, Blues Fan 50, Madfort 26JV, Fatal Potatoes, that's a new one. Hex 128, another new one. Chalmans, I think he's commented before. Mason Uricki, 5456, and V7 Throttle. Those are your top 15, the first 15 that got in there. So a lot of really different comments. Get into those in a moment, too. Corey Rummel got that backflip move working very, very solid. Megalodon looking good out here, which is really, really nice to see. Corey Rummel has really done some of these moves very well this season. He's executed some of them perfectly, and that's definitely one of the very good first move. I saw a lot of very different comments here for the Gravedigger bodies. Someone said the red Gravedigger. That was Wade Forbes. Love that. Green Ghost got a lot of favorites. I also saw Charlie Pawkins' green and purple World Finals body. Loved that one, and very, very fitting that we're talking about that with Charlie Pawkin here in this video. But a lot of the 30th anniversary, a lot of the Green Ghost, I have to agree, those are definitely some of my favorites. If I had to pick, I think I said last week I would go with Colvinards as Megalodon trying the popper. Too bad, not going to work the stoppie, not executed on that second move. So that first move is going to really carry him, and it will carry him to first place at a 7.496, which I'm sure he will take. Our next competitor is Colt Stevens in Thunderoris. So, our next weekend for shoutouts. If you want to get shouted out in next weekend's commentary, I want you to comment your favorite body design ever. I want to know the favorite design of a body. So something like Thunderoris, Dragonoid, Gravedigger. I want it to be the most visually appealing body. Not your favorite truck. Your most visually appealing body. I have quite a few. Really a big fan of Earthshaker, obviously, but I mean, obviously that's just kind of my bias there. Thunderoris going for the bicycle. Solid bicycle. Can't quite get anything else out of it. Always been a big fan of the way the Max D body looks. I also really love the Bad Company body. That new Bad Company body, very, very pretty. So comment down your favorite body style, your most visually appealing body. And if you do that, the top 15 people will get shouted out next weekend. Colt Stevens and Thunderoris trying it. Looks like he's going to line up for a bicycle off the backflip. This is a risky move. And in years past, we've seen a lot of drivers try it, but it puts you in a bit of a weird spot if you don't hit it right. He doesn't hit it very right. Can he get a save? Oh, looks like they shut him off. Don't like that. He definitely could have saved. Oh my! Massive fire from the collectors there. That is not great. Thankfully, it kind of settled down, but clearly a lot of oil and fuel gathered in those exhaust tips there. 6.285 will not get it done. The next competitor is Joe Foley in El Toro Loco. Now, I mentioned it last weekend that Joe Foley has really not had some big numbers in this competition, but he's still been a very consistent competitor in this competition. Joe Foley having a really, last year was his rookie season in Monster Jam, and I'd say this guy is poised to have a very bright future in the sport. If he drives in Monster Jam for a long time, this kid can be a World Finals champion one day. I'd have to imagine, I don't know if he's going to stay working with Team Scream or if maybe he'll get a chance to be a Feld driver someday, but this kid's got a bright future. Tries a bicycle that's not super bright that time, but he's got one move left. I've really loved what I've seen from Joe Foley this year, and I think this year is it's a statement. And this bicycle, trying it again, it really kicks him off in an awkward way. A little too close to the wall to be able to gas out of it. Unfortunately, he has done as well. A lot of drivers have flipped over in skills. That's a bit of a rarity, and I feel really bad for the AV team because they have had to do 1,000 recoveries in this event. They're probably running out of go-tos at this point. But that's all right. So the next competitor in this competition is Charlie Pauken in Gravedigger, and I'm assuming he's driving Adam's chassis, so that's got to be a little interesting. Charlie Pauken, longtime Gravedigger driver and 2010 World Finals Freestyle champion in the Monster Mutt truck. This man has a legendary history. He has a very long rap sheet in this sport. This guy knows what he's doing in a monster truck. He has spent many years on the Stadium Series, very recently in 2022, driving the Monster Mutt truck. So this guy knows how to drive. He is a very consistent driver, and I'm very excited to see what he can do here in skills. Got some speed, going for a bicycle. Got a lot of speed on the bicycle. Combos it a little bit. That was interesting. Combos it into a wheelie there, too. That was all one move, all momentum, so I'll take it. He made something out of not much. I like that, and that's what Charlie Pauken can do. Now, Charlie Pauken has been driving since not being on a Stadium Series. He's been doing a lot of international events driving Megalodon, but this year we got to see him fill in for the Lucas Stabilizer a little over a month ago, and now he is here driving Gravedigger. I love getting to see Charlie Pauken drive. Who doesn't like to see Charlie Pauken drive? He's going to size up that jammer. It looks like that's going to be the next move that he will hit in this competition. After that disappointing first move, it was a decent first move, but it could have been way better. I know Charlie Pauken. Charlie Pauken also a king of the wheelies. This guy can do slap wheelies better than anybody, and that is a masterclass right there. That is why. He does set it down a bit too early, though, which is too bad. I think he could have gotten a little bit more out of it, but kind of pulled back a little too soon. Still nice to see Charlie Pauken, and so nice to hear his name come over the speakers in a building, because man, oh man, the legend Charlie Pauken in the house, and so cool to see. He's your new leader at a 9.244. We gonna get a Chucky dance for this one? I don't think we're gonna see it if he did one. We gotta get a Chucky dance at one point in there. He's driving Gravedigger. It's not Megalodon, it's not Stabilizer. He's in Gravedigger. It's the first time Charlie Pauken's driving Gravedigger in a stadium setting, and I believe probably 4 or 5 years, or a stadium setting in the United States. So he's got to get himself in there and do some Chucky dances. I could be wrong about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've been getting a lot of people that have been actually giving me the information I'm asking about. If I say, let me know in the comments if you know about this, and I love that. And another driver's not straight on the backflip ramp. Can somebody paint a line in front of the backflip so that they know where to go? Like put an arrow saying like this is straight, because this is really embarrassing. And it's a waste of time too. We don't need to see these drivers lining up a million ways for the backflip ramp. So I really appreciate it. You guys have been really great. You've been helping me out in the comments with all these things that I've been asking about, which I'm really thrilled because, I don't know. I'm not really paying much of attention to what's going on because I want it to be really raw and natural. And I'm not really asking people in the industry, so I like to hear what you guys know because you guys might know things that I don't and I wouldn't have even heard. So let's see what Jim Kohler could do here. He's been taking the risk trying to do these stoppies off the backflip ramp, and it pays off here. Doesn't really walk it very far, though, but Jim Kohler's been attempting that a lot this season and failing it a lot this season, so a welcome sight to see him at least execute it well once. I don't know if that's a clown. I think it's just flames that are blowing off the skull. I really couldn't tell you. Now he's sizing up the log in this kind of AR6-ish or triple threat pod style obstacle. It's not really an AR6. AR6 is a ramp, not an obstacle. Go for a forward popper. There you go, Jim Kohler. moonwalking it, and that's a good second move. I don't think that's going to be enough for him to take the lead, though. First off, the Gravedigger effect certainly playing in a factor in Charlie Pauken's score. Yeah, 6.726, about on par with what I would have expected. Here's Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. Camden Murphy had a good night of racing tonight, made it to the final round, and he was looking pretty fast, but man, oh man, Ryan Anderson just unstoppable. I believe we are down to the final two competitors here in skills as well, because normally it's reverse order of how they place in racing, unless a driver was broken and needs to come back, which we have not seen Zombie yet, so... Oh no, sorry, Zombie was in the final round, not Camden Murphy. Apologize, Camden Murphy got knocked out in the semifinals. We have not seen Zombie yet because he was the one in the finals, and another driver who really can't line up the backflip straight. I mean, he's kind of straight. I feel like he's just kind of feeling out the ramp at this point because he's trying to back up off of it and not pop. He wants to pop it off the ramp. Like that. Yeah, that's a very different move than just lining it up right. He's got to make sure he's got it well and that the dirt is kind of packed down. And it works well. Camden Murphy really doing this move very, very well this season. Twisting the back wheels, which is always a nice little added touch in there. He'll set it down. That's one move. I wish Camden would try and walk that back, though. I feel like he has a lot of possibility to, walk the moonwalk backwards a little bit. I also don't know what kind of limitations are being placed on them in the skills challenge. He also is going to go for the log. We've seen a few drivers try this tonight. No one's really executed it well, so he's got a chance to maybe take a lead if he can really nail this move. Especially because Gravedigger's run was good, but definitely not the greatest. I'd say there's definitely a window of opportunity for Camden to be able to take a lead here. He is really taking a lot of time to line up these moves, but I have no problem with that. He's got to make sure he does them right. He's got the popper. There he goes. Oh no, the truck shut off, and it looked like it just powered down altogether. The RII lights were not flashing, so he completely lost power on that move. And that's probably going to kill any chances he has of taking a lead, and it will. 7.445, and another disappointing run here in the skills challenge will bring us to Bari Musawa and Zombie. Now, this is your second to last competitor before Ryan Anderson will come out. Bari is going to do the good old zombie arms that we don't get to see very often. A lot of times people cut these out, which most weekends I'm happy about because I don't need to sit through all this stuff, but you know what, today, it's a one commentary weekend for this series. We also have one commentary for the other series. It's a two commentary weekend altogether. And I'll take the advantage of you guys getting to see a really full event, because Reagan captures things in a very different way than anyone else. Reagan captures all this kind of stuff that no one else really does. And I know the fans like to see it, that's why he's so popular, and Reagan has a very large following, gets a lot of views on these videos, because they like to see that kind of stuff, and they like to see the fan engagement. All right, trying to get a zombie donut in here. Bari's had a lot of really good donuts this year, and this could be a competition that if he does a really great one here, he might be able to take a lead. Definitely a very good donut. The spin cycle's working. Very, very good donut. He's still going. They shut him off, and that'll be the end of his skills run. I gotta say, that's going to be very close. I mean, Charlie Pauken's run was good, and I will love to see Charlie Pauken win this competition, but I think this could be a contender. And it will be close. It does take second place, 8.921, and I'm not entirely disappointed about that because Charlie Pauken did the two moves on two wheels, which is more difficult than just slinging a donut, but it's also not that easy to do a great donut. But I'm glad the fans gave him second. So Bari in a pretty good spot for overall points here. If Ryan Anderson comes out and kind of biffs his skills run, Bari Musawa might be in a great spot to win the overall today. Always nice to see someone not named Anderson winning an overall on this series. And the one Anderson that's here this week, and the lone Anderson in the Lone Star State, is Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. He's going for his two-wheel moves. Doesn't take much time to line it up. He just kind of goes for it. Oh, that's in a weird spot. He was a little bit up on that ramp, and nothing he could do, so he does, in fact, biff that first move, which means he's got to really nail the second one. Bari Musawa got to be feeling good about his overall points, and Charlie Pauken has to be feeling really good about his chance of winning a competition in Gravedigger. But what is Ryan doing here? There's really nothing you can do. I know what he's doing. he's going to try and do that crab walk stoppy, a move that he tried to do all the way back in 2017 when this competition was first introduced. He tried it in Foxborough, failed it pretty miserably. Pretty exciting move if you can nail it, though. I'm assuming that's what he's doing. Yes, it is. The kind of the crab walk stoppy. He nails it very well on one wheel. Oh my, that's trouble, but he's able to save it. Ryan Anderson knowing how to drive his truck and get it back on all fours. That was pure skill. There was zero luck in that. Ryan Anderson knew exactly what he had to do to get that truck on all fours. He hit the brakes at the perfect time. He hit the gas at the perfect time. Look at that move. And it's your winner. 9.354, and yes, it should be. What a run from Ryan Anderson, and what a phenomenal move there to finally get something moving in AT&T Stadium, as now we can get fired up for Monster Jam Freestyle. AT&T Stadium is ready to rumble with 12 Monster Jam trucks who will have 2 minutes to freestyle in front of the fans in the Lone Star State, and the first one will be a 2-time World Finals Freestyle champion, Jim Kohler, an Avenger. The body a little bit smashed for Jim Kohler. That's not going to slow him down, especially after the weekend he had in Detroit. You've got to feel like he's looking for a little bit of redemption here in Texas. Oh my, little combo there. It sounds like he might be having transmission issues. That's been a common theme for Avenger and a little bit for Team Scream Racing this season. No, it sounds like it's back in order. Nice air there. I just think the transmission, it feels like the gears are just not really, the ratios aren't really right. Something's wrong with the gear ratios in this truck, because he is hitting the rev limiter way too quickly in second gear, which should not be happening. It's going to slow him down a lot. Nice air again. Jim Kohler trying to make some moves happen with a truck that is not fully working the way he wants it to. It's still working. He can still freestyle, but the transmission is definitely not geared right, which is certainly going to limit what you can do in a run, and it limited him last week in Detroit, and it's limited him a lot this season, and hopefully he can get that figured out before the season's over, because I'd love to see Jim Kohler really be able to go at it. This entire season has been plagued with truck problems for Avenger, which is not a common thing. Normally Jim Kohler's truck is in tip-top shape. However, this chassis has been around a while. This is a bit of an older chassis for Jim Kohler. He's been running this thing for many years, and the longer you run a truck, the more problems are going to arise. It's the same with a regular car, and he is lining up for the backflip. He's your first competitor of the night. He's kind of sizing it up. I don't know how he really feels about hitting it, but he's finally committing to it. He's short. Oh my! Can he get it? Yes! Jim Kohler! Look at him go! Very, very good move. He's lost some power somewhere in the truck, and I think the truck is not going to go anymore. It looks like it's entered limp mode, but Jim Kohler with a wild move there off the backflip. He is unstrapped while the truck is still cradling itself, or rocking itself in that little spot, and what a fascinating run and a good number. 9.124. Very happy for Jim Kohler there. Even with a broken truck, he can still secure the wow moments. Here's Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid. Camden Murphy coming out second in freestyle tonight. And I normally say it's weird to see that, but this year, we've seen Camden come out early in freestyle a couple times, because he's had a few freestyles this season in which the truck has failed him, he's flipped over early, and he's finished in the bottom part of the lineup and had to come out within the first few competitors. And I'm sure Camden Murphy doesn't love that it's kind of becoming a common thing this year. This is not where Camden Murphy wants to be. Camden Murphy wants to come out freestyling in 11th or 12th. That's where he should be. He is one of the top 3 freestylers on this series. So for him to be coming out this early, oh, the wing just decided to evacuate. That was hilarious. For him to be coming out this early is definitely not ideal, and it makes him have a lot more pressure on him. Nice air. And the body really holding together very barely, and he's lost the other wing. I'd be surprised. Yeah, they're going to shut him off and get those wings off the track. No surprise there. They've got to clear those off. Those wings are large. If those wings get slung into the crowd, you've got a real problem. So Thankfully, they will get him refired here. They just had to, clean up the track. But the problem is that does disrupt his momentum. He gets a couple happy revs in there, and now the fans will be aware that Camden Murphy's about to get rolling again. And now he's essentially got about 1 minute and 20 seconds to really freestyle, and he starts it off with a big leap. Now, if you may notice, the center of the track, the step-up is not really a step-up anymore. They decreased the height on it on the long side, but man, Camden Murphy's still getting air in other ways. Ooh, that almost was bad, but thankfully that ramp able to push him back on all fours. So the step-up is really no longer a step-up. It's just kind of a smaller ramp, and it allows us to see both sides of the track, which is kind of nice. There's actually no ramp at all in there, so you can no longer use a step-up. I don't know if that's going to continue that way, but we'll see. Nice air again from Camden Murphy. He's having himself an okay start to the freestyle run, but Jim Kohler had that wow moment in there. Camden Murphy's going to have to try and do something similar. He hits the backflip. Oh, he's a little short on it. Hits the dumpsters. Is he going to be able to keep going? He's nestled between them. He's able to keep running. He was able to save it too, and now he's going to fly. Oh my. Oh my goodness. Camden Murphy, and he's got to save. Camden Murphy is turning it up! Oh my! Again! Whoa! Oh my goodness! No way! On the sidewalls! Camden Murphy on the sidewalls on the other side! Oh my God! That was impossible! That was the most impossible save! He's flipping over again! Camden Murphy is a man possessed! He just did 4 wow moments in a span of 60 seconds, all of them impossible. He is already out of the truck. This man is flying high. We've got to watch some replay from that. Camden Murphy himself can't believe it. I want to see the score first. Buddy, that's how I'm feeling too. What did I just see? That was one of the nuttiest things I have seen in my life. Reagan is explaining it brilliantly. That's about how I feel, pal. I don't believe what I just saw. I am sweating profusely. Ryan Anderson congratulating him too, like, I can't believe you just did that. You did 4 moves that would have won you any freestyle anyway, and you did them all in the same run.
That wins.
Let's get that. That's got to be a 10. Give it a 10, buddy. 9.817. Whoo-wee. Now let's watch some of those replays, because... Now let's break this down. This first move was already awesome. Got the huge air in there, and this move in general is a wow moment in of itself. I mean, this save was great. He had it on the one wheel. That's some stellar driving right away. Then he just decides it's time to go super sane and does this. Just throws the truck around. Totally understandable. Gasses it out. At this point, truck's over. You're done. No hope of coming back. But that was smart driving. Locked up the brakes to get it onto the sidewalls. And the control to know that he was going to overdo it to get it on the other side. That is one of the most impressive saves in the history of the sport. I don't want to let that go without being said, because that was incredible. And then this was just a nice little, we're just going to do a impromptu front flip just for absolutely no reason. And it was very stellar and very deserving of your new leader. Now, a lot of people were saying that was the greatest freestyle of all time. I'm disagreeing with you on that. The first minute was not the greatest, but that was the greatest 60 seconds of Monster Jam freestyle in the history of the sport. And I will die on that hill. Thank you, and good night. I mean, I could go home. You could watch the rest of this event without me. I don't need to be here for any more of this. Here's Colt Stevens, Thunderosaurus, and as I've had to say a few times this year, how the hell is he gonna follow that up? Because I guarantee you he can't, because that was literally the greatest thing I've seen in a long time. Nice air, little nose pick. Ooh, he's almost in trouble. There's going to be a serious debate. There's going to be a serious debate on what was better, Tyler's move or that. Because Tyler's run was incredible, and that incredible wow moment in Minneapolis was amazing. I think Camden just stole the show, though. That was unbelievable. That has to be your new moment of the year. I mean, without a doubt. That ending to the freestyle, the greatest 60 seconds of all time. Oh, big air. I'm ignoring Cole Stevens, but quite honestly, I don't care. Camden Murphy just blew my socks off. And now Colt Stevens just has to come out and be like, all right, well, I got to freestyle and somehow not disappoint the fans, because there's no way I'm going to do what Camden just did. Maybe he will. Maybe he will, and maybe I will have my head explode while recording. It's happened before. Oh, launching it! And now I understand why the step-up's not there. It looks like in this building might be a little bit more narrow, so that ramp would have kind of interfered with it. He's getting big air in this run, which is very, very nice. Going for the backflip ramp. Hits it a little to the left. He's got it, though. He broke something in the back left there. That landing not good. He's telling him to refire him. He's like, come on, get me going. Get me going. That's the universal fire me up signal. Look at him. He's like, come on. No, I'm not done yet. Oh, you know Colt Stevens not happy about that. He wanted to keep going. There was something that broke on the truck. I don't know what it was, so that's the end of his run. Here's David Olford Velociraptor, and as the saying has gone quite a few times this year, how do you follow up what's already happened in this run? I don't think you can. Or in this freestyle. I don't think it's possible. Camden Murphy came out, and I don't have words. I genuinely don't have anything I can use to describe what happened. I've been struggling to find the words without swearing, quite honestly. Like there's no way to describe that without using profanity, and Reagan already did that for me before, so I'm not going to break my long-standing streak. Nice air from David Olford. Now, David Olford, pivoting to him, he's had himself a very neat couple of weekends. Really dating back to Anaheim a few weeks ago, freestyles look really good for him. He's looking more comfortable in the truck. He's really getting adapted to the stadium floors, the size of the tracks, and he's able to kind of throw in moves like this that are adding to the overall depth of his freestyle runs, and he's making him more than just a one-dimensional driver, which I think is really important. Trying the bicycle, adding even more dimensions to his dimensionalness here. Oh, that's maybe... Oh, gosh, David Olford! Oh, David Olford! Oh, yeah! Way to go, Too Tall! That was awesome! That was... He was paused in time there for a moment. It's like he was in slow motion, trying to decide what the heck he was going to do. And he figured it out. That was a heck of a job driving there from David Olford and Velociraptor, and... well, the wow moments are stacking up this evening. This series has turned into the series of wow moments, and I am here for it. Look at him slinging a donut. Boston cream. Boston cream donut. It's my favorite donut in the world, and very fitting in the same commentary that we had one of my favorite calls I've ever had. That's been the really cool thing about this year, is that it's been 2 years since I've done commentaries, and my announcing style is drastically different today as his run is over. I'll talk about it in a moment. David Olford had a pretty good run. He had that wow moment in there, and I really, really enjoyed the freestyle, but that'll bring up Caleb Blood and Soldier Fortune, as Olford will not get the job done today, as no one else is going to be able to. Nobody's beating Camden Murphy. So Soldier Fortune out here trying to kind of pick up where she has left the last few weekends. She has not really been on the same track that she was the weekends before, where she was absolutely dominating every competition, and I think a lot of it has just been kind of bad luck. She's hit things a little bit awkwardly and had some awkward landings that have broken the truck, flipped her over, and it's ended her freestyles a little bit short, which has been disappointing after the run she was on, where she was really hammering at every single freestyle. So back to what I was saying, I mean, my announcing style has gotten so different just the last 2 years alone. I've observed so many different announcers within Monster Jam, within sports in general, that have really helped me out. Guys like Matt Isbell, my buddy Ray Villarreal, who I was on the series with last year. You know, guys that have really impacted the way that I announce monster truck shows, and I think it's really been very influential to me. And I owe a lot to those guys for teaching me things. Oh my, look at that air from Caleb Blood! Well, she's kind of kicking it back into gear. That's good. The moral of the story is this year has been nice for me to really kind of see how my announcing has developed, and I'm enjoying it a lot this year. Oh my, that's another weird hit. She's had a ton of those this season. She's able to be okay and keep it going, slowing it down because the backflip's in her sights. There she goes. Time for the backflip. Very short. Oh my, breaks a tie rod. Well, she could put it into a wheelie, might as well. The wheels are just kind of flopping off to the side like ears of a dog. And that's going to end a run. Good job by Kayla Blood to turn in a bit of a wow moment there at the end, and it's an 8.172. Pretty fair, pretty fair. Next up's Bari Musawa and Zombie, and he's got to be feeling pretty good about where he sits right now in the point standings. Finishing the top half, finishing the top 3 of the skills competition, and finishing second in racing. Starting his run off with a little baby slack wheelie. It's funny, the BKT stickers have rubbed off on the front left, and it looks like he's got Ukraine tires on there, which I know they are not, but it's very funny how the BKT stickers rub off so, they fall off so easily. You rub the tires on the ground once, and those stickers are gone. I mean, there's no hope. Nice slap wheelie again. I think a lot of also a part of why my announcing is kind of developed. Oh, Bari! Look at him popping in a stoppie. I wasn't ready for that. I started, going on a tangent. The reason why my announcing has gotten so different too this year is, I know a lot more about the sport and how it functions, and I know a lot more about, I've gotten a lot more professional in the last 2 years, which I think has helped develop me into finding the balance between getting those awesome calls in there and getting those cool, impactful moments, but also sharing the excitement through the way I call it. And that was something I was really trying to figure out early on in the season. I was really trying to find the balance of doing a professional call for a wow moment, but also getting that excitement in there. And I think as of late, I've really kind of found a nice little rhythm. And obviously moves like that with Camden Murphy are just kind of showcasing. It's like, dude, I've got a minute of just non-stop in there. As Bari Musawa getting some nice air using that ramp. Didn't have much run-up on it. Got some pretty decent elevation on it. Been a pretty good freestyle competition overall. I mean, yes, there have been only one driver who's really gone out there and done something wild. I mean, yes, Jim Kohler had that nice move, but ooh, that was a weird hit on the backflip. It almost looked like the front wheels kicked a lot more than I thought they would, but I mean, he's okay. Look at him comboing it again! Bari Musawa! Who are you? This guy's throwing in stoppies. I bet people didn't even know he could do those. And, well, Bari's doing them pretty well. I love it. I love it. Very decent run for Bari Musawa. And for a man who's chasing that overall points, or the overall event championship for the day, he's going to just park it and got to be feeling pretty good about that run. I don't know if I give it anything more than maybe an 8.3. But that was pretty much what I would give it with the way this competition's been going. So that's pretty good. Now here's Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt. And Chris Kohler, what more can I say about this guy? The dude got Northern Nightmare body on his truck last weekend and decided it's time to turn into Dennis Anderson. The guy was throwing out wow moments like they were chocolate to children. I mean, it was incredible. It was like throwing out candy to kids at Halloween. The amount of wow moments that the guy was throwing into his freestyle. It was awesome. And it wasn't just freestyle. He was doing it in skills, too. I mean, he was just unbelievable last weekend. But now he's behind the wheel of Monster Mutt. What's he going to do this weekend back in his normal truck? It's actually funny that I say it's his normal truck, because it's really not his normal truck. This body is not the body he's used to running. He normally runs Brutus. By the way, the tail cover's about to come off, and that's going to be hilarious again. Nice air. With every bounce, the tail slowly starts to... The tail cover starts to unsheath itself. And the tail... it's just flapping around in the breeze. That is so funny. Oh, there it goes. Nice slap wheelie. All right. Well, the white tail has been exposed. That was so funny though. It's like I'm picturing the episode of SpongeBob where he had the sock over his head and it wasn't fully on tight and it was loose and hanging down. That's what it looked like. Only some of you are gonna get that reference. Nice air. Jumps fully over his body. Man, that tail is very clean though, I will say. It's not yellow like the Monster Mutt Dalmatian tails are. That tail is beautiful. Whoever's in charge of grooming that tail does a good job. Going for the backflip. Oh, I thought he was going to gas it out. I think they might have shut him off, actually. Yeah, I think he's been shut off, but I think he's going to keep going. And he is. Wow, look at that air. He decides it's time to pick it up. Doesn't have a ton of time left, so it's time to impress these fans. It's your last freestyle you'll get in Arlington, so you might as well go all out, and now he's airing it out. Chris Kohler had all those wow moments last weekend by just closing his eyes and never lifting. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. He's got problems in the back left. He's got no power back there. Probably a broken axle. Oh my, it flips him over. Yeah, that's not gonna be savable. Too bad. He kind of just twisted himself in an unlucky spot. So Chris Kohler trying to get the wow moments in the end, but unfortunately it's an 8.074. Now it's time for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger, and I'm excited for this freestyle. This is a World Finals freestyle champion, after all, and driving the black and green wrecking machine for what I believe is the first time in years. I genuinely don't know. I could be wrong. But I feel like it's been a few years since we've seen Charlie Pauken driving a Gravedigger truck domestically. Add to the bone, playing in the background, George Thorogood has been the tune, the track underneath Gravedigger for all these years. Charlie Pauken has heard it hundreds of times in this truck. Now he gets to freestyle in Arlington. He is off, and well, if anyone can handle the situation at hand, which is the Dragonoid 9.8, and still go out there and put on a good freestyle, it's this man. Now the other factor in that, all these other drivers in this event, they're on a series. They're going back out there next weekend to compete. Charlie Pauken is not. This man is going to go all out because this is his only chance. And he's already getting big air. He won that World Finals Championship. Oh, no. Oh, he smacked the dumpsters way too hard. I don't think they're going to be allowed to let him continue. He went outside of the boundaries. That is typically the end of the freestyle there when you do that, especially if those dumpsters hit the wall over there. Yeah, I mean, you can't let him keep going. He went out of the bounds. It's a violation of the Monster Jam rules, and unfortunately, that is it. It's disappointing, I know, but the boundaries are there. There's plenty of room on the track. There's no reason to be hitting any of the boundaries. Charlie Pauken, a veteran, knows that better than anyone else, and unfortunately, his run ends very, very short, which is too bad, and well, we'll have to wait till the next time to see Charlie Pauken out there. So here's Corey Rummel in Megalodon. The body looking very neat this weekend. The body was looking a little bit trashed the last couple weekends. Looks like they patched it together pretty nicely, or maybe even got him a new body in there. I believe they carry a spare Megalodon body on the trailers, so I think this could just be the backup Megalodon body, but they try not to fly through bodies in the course of the season. Those things are expensive, so patch them up, get them ready for the next event, but Megalodon was starting to look a little bit deformed the last few weekends. Nice air. And another part of that, too, is Megalodon's a big fan favorite. You want the Megalodon truck to be looking clean. In the last few weekends, I mean, the truck's been falling apart, as it's kind of sort of is right now. Nice air. The body is certainly a little bit loose on there. Nice air again. Now, last weekend, I mentioned it in the open, Corey Rummel had himself a very good weekend of freestyle in Detroit. Very nice to see, and I think he figured out what was wrong with that truck that was causing him to have all the problems that he was having. Now getting big air again, so it definitely seems like those problems have sorted themselves out, which is good. It seems like the gremlins are behind him, and now he can really just kind of go full bore, and he is airing it out in this run in Arlington, which is very, very cool to see. And the tail of the body is starting to fall off a little bit. Now that's not I don't believe it's a plexiglass body. It might be I don't know. I think it's a foam body, but no, I think it is plexiglass. Not plexiglass, fiberglass. I'm an idiot. Whatever. Backflip. Thankfully, there was no wow moment there, so you don't have me sounding like a moron in a shorts clip because I said plexiglass when it's obviously not. That's a hard hit, and the fiberglass flying all over the place. Boy, oh boy. Sometimes I sound like I know what I'm talking about, and then other times I say dumb stuff like that, and you're like, do you really know? Wow! Oh my! Oh, I don't think he's gonna save that one. Nope, Megalodon is done. Well, again, thankfully we didn't get a shorts clip of me sounding like an idiot. Not my best run in terms of the way I sounded there. But I mean, a simple mistake. Very simple mistake. Here's Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. John Sampanaro giving Ryan Anderson the old-fashioned WWE introduction, really letting the fans know that this man is a legend on the track. I don't think he's your last competitor. I think Joe Foley still has to freestyle because we have not seen him yet. I know for a fact we have not seen him. It's a question of if he will freestyle. We will see. He's on the side of the track, so I'm assuming he will. So Ryan Anderson coming out here 11th with a chance to help himself out, not only in the overall point standings, but in the overall event championship. Oh, that was almost a really weird bounce, but Ryan Anderson, heck of a driver. Now getting lost in the shuffle of Camden Murphy's, whatever the heck you want to call it. Ryan Anderson did have that awesome move and skills. Been shut off. I think that was probably because he got a little too close to the wall over there. I had to guess, but who knows? Could have been the truck shut itself off. Nice air! Well, he comes right back out with a punch. Ryan Anderson certainly, look at the momentum. I mean, the momentum he's carrying is, yeah, the truck's shutting itself off. They did not shut him off. Why is this guy standing up? They're not doing it on purpose. The truck's just shutting off. Buddy, the truck's just shutting itself off. It's nothing the tech officials are doing. The truck, yeah, he knows. It's the truck. It's not anything else. That truck is not holding its fire. It's a 5.548, which is too bad. I mean, there's just nothing he can do. I mean, the truck just decided it was not going to keep itself going. So it's time for the final competitor in freestyle. It's Joe Foley and El Toro Loco, and John Sampanaro gassing him up. One of the most exciting freestyles in the entire series. I'd agree with that, though. I mean, Joe Foley has been a pleasure to watch all year. So Camden's obviously going to be winning freestyle today, and Ryan Anderson finishing in 9th in freestyle. Camden's got a chance to make up some serious overall points here on the series, which is quite interesting. But the problem is, which I will get into in a moment, there's not that many events left on this series, or on either of the stadium series. That's Joe Foley going to do yet another really nice slap wheelie to start off a run, which he's done plenty of times this year. So you'll notice if you stick around to the end of the video, in the upcoming commentary schedule, we're going to be having a couple weeks off from stadium events in 2024. They've got a few weekends in the arenas in there, which is obviously not going to provide any ability to gain points. So time is winding down for Camden Murphy and Adam Anderson to get back into this series, and I think Ryan Anderson's really locked it up. And I don't know how many events there are left, but I have to imagine there's only maybe 4 or 5. So nice air from El Toro Loco. We're really through the thick of the schedule, which is good and bad. You know, oh, his shocks are completely off on the back right. His run is done. Oh my God, how did that happen? The shocks were just flopping around. I'm going to show you the replay of that because you probably didn't see it. So take a look at the back right here. Look at the back right shocks on this landing. They completely come apart and they are just toast. My goodness, that was an awkward landing for that truck, and nothing he can do. That's going to put him in 11th. And so your freestyle winner is Camden Murphy, and in a very weird freestyle competition, Camden Murphy gets the job done with one of the wildest moves freestyles ever. Lindsay Noble is out there with our freestyle winner. I want to hear what Camden has to say about this, because, I mean, this was the wildest thing I've seen all year.
It's absolutely incredible. You did nothing but wow these monster champions. What did it take? What was going through your mind during that cartwheel?
Man, you know what? The second half of this season has absolutely been going down the drain for me. I got shut off twice in open freestyle. Truck shut off in skills. Couldn't get out of runway racing. But man, I got absolutely rowdy. What do you guys in Dallas? What do you guys think?
Best freestyle of your career, that's what I think.
I'll tell you what, Camden Murphy fired up, and I love the way he described it. He said, the second half of this season has gone down the drain for me, and it's been absolutely terrible. And he said, man, I got rowdy for you, and yeah, he did. So let's crown the overall event champion for the night, and based on the points, I already know who it is, but I'm going to wait until they unveil it. But I've been saying it all night. There he is, Barney Moose Sour and Zombie got it done. Very proud of Barney Moose Sour. Very great work. He's your overall event champion tonight. And that will finish it off here tonight in Arlington, Texas. A one-event weekend for Stadium Championship Series West. And let's take a look at what's to come on the commentary schedule, as things are going to get a little bit interesting. I'll explain what is to come in there because there's a little bit of stuff to explain, so stick around if you care about what's to come. So you take a look at the next event on the commentary schedule. It will be Orlando. That is Stadium Championship Series East. Yet another one-event commentary for them. And then next weekend, we have our final real normal weekend of the year, where we have both series running at the same time. And I believe it is the last time, at least for a long time, in which both series are running at the exact same time. It is not going to be happening much for the rest of the year. So stay tuned for that. We go to Jacksonville and El Paso, two buildings that always tend to give us some really great events. Then if you look after March 17th, got a couple week break in there before we go to Seattle. Now, for those of you wondering, no, commentaries are not stopping in that time span. I am going to be doing commentaries. So once that El Paso event is over, it is not the last commentary until April 6th. I'm still going to be doing commentaries. But what I'm going to be doing is on days that I'm free to record them, I'm going to pick out a random event like I used to do. It could be any event that a full show is on YouTube. Do a commentary of it like the good old days. Post that on a normal posting schedule, probably Thursday, Friday, Sunday, probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If I can get some more in there, I can. If I'm free more in the week, I'll do 7 commentaries if I'm free. Don't think it's limited to 4, but I'm going to try and get those in there for you in the meantime to fill the time while you're waiting for the stadium events to come back. So again, I want to reiterate it, and I know those of you that are watching the video right now, you are the ones who really care about the commentary schedule and are the ones who are really paying attention to it. So commentaries are going to be continuing. I am just going to be posting the commentary schedule showing the 2024 events. I just want to get that out there because I know a lot of you are going to be wondering what's going on with the break. What are you going to do? Because I don't know what I'm doing a commentary on, I can't put it in the schedule, but the scheduled events are there and those are not going to change, at least unless something goes wrong. So hope that makes sense. If it didn't, let me know in the comments. I'll try and clear it up for you, but I will be doing commentaries. You can even let me know in the comments some of the events you want me to do commentaries on because, you know what, I'm always up for a suggestion or two. But wild event here in Arlington. Camden Murphy blew my socks off, made the entire day worth it. In a pretty boring event otherwise, didn't matter. Camden Murphy stole the show. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night in Orlando.